Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily AMG and welcome to my first ever monthly favorites video. I'm sure if you are a constant viewer of the YouTube, you have other YouTube people that do these monthly favorites and it's probably like one of your most favorite things, so it's one of mine. I love to watch my favorite YouTubers talk about the favorite things of the previous month. That's why it's a big thing on YouTube, I guess. But today I'm going to be bringing you my December all the way through January favorites. I have clothing, beauty, and then I kind of did like a media section, if you will. Okay, so let's start with the beauty because it's just like right here. So one of the first things that I did was I mixed two products that are like constants in my life, but because your skin is so dry in the winter, I kind of just experimented one day, like this could be really bad and I could just be totally wasteful right now. But I decided to, in my self-tanning routine, I decided to first, hang on. So first of all, I use gloves, as you should. If you are a self-tanner and you're not using gloves, do so now. So I will put some of the most wonderful stuff ever, and that is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter. Just like a dollop, not like a massive dollop, just like not even dime size. Like I just did like a little, I don't know, like the size of a Tic Tac or whatever, because a little bit of this goes a very long way, and it's like completely out. I don't know if you can even tell, but it's completely out. That's on my shopping list immediately. And so I would put that on my glove, and then I use the Quick Tan aerosol bronzing spray, and the directions say to like just get on out there and just start spraying yourself with this stuff. No thanks. I don't want to be that dark. That doesn't look natural or normal, etc. And so I just spray a little bit on my glove and then just apply it and follow that same process until I've done what parts are going to be showing, because honestly, I'm a lazy self-tanner, and like if you're not going to see past my elbows, I'm not going to tan past my elbows. So, and I really love this Quick Tan. A little bit of it does wash off, so you're not, I don't know, it's like it doesn't get like a weird buildup. If you're a self-tanner, you know what I'm talking about. There's no weird buildup. I think this is $20 at Sally Beauty, and it is my absolute favorite. And let me tell you, I've used a lot of different self-tanners. This is the one that I continually go back to because it just works. It goes away like in a natural looking way also, like your tan is fading. It doesn't leave you like with like weird, scaly, grody skin that you have to like immediately find another self-tanner. That's kind of how I felt with the Saint Tropez one. It just, I don't know. I really like this one. That's my recommendation. I can totally do like a how I self-tan if y'all want to know how I self-tan, because I get asked that a lot just in my everyday, because I don't know a lot of people who self-tan. Next up, I have another routine. Oh, I forgot something. That's okay. Basically, I have started well, let me grab those because the double cleansing process is kind of a cool thing. Okay. So first of all, one thing that I have started doing, and I am not doing it as often as I should, but hopefully in February, I'll give you an update and let you know that I have conquered the makeup removal at night. I'm so bad about it. So bad about it. But when I do, this is what I've been doing. So before I hop in the shower, I will cleanse my skin with this refreshing cream cleanser from Garnier. And this is just one of those where you apply it and you can just like rub your eye makeup off, rub everything, and then you just get like a wet towel and then just wipe it off. And then whenever I get into the shower and or before bed, if I'm like really good at taking off my makeup, then I will double cleanse with the Garnier Refreshing Facial Cleanser. And I just really like these. These both are extremely gentle for my super crazy sensitive rosacea prone skin. And I really, really love the double cleansing process. I can definitely tell that my skin is much cleaner. And then in the mornings, I may take a Noxzema wipe and wipe away like just like the dirt and grime of the night. So then that takes us to this process. And these are the L'Oreal Revitalift Bright Reveal Brightening Peel Pads. I don't know. Basically, it's like an acid something pad. So these are like alpha hydroxy, yeah, like alpha hydroxy brightening pads. So they look, I don't know if you can even tell with the way that it's just a little pre-soaked pad, and I just do like T-zone areas. I definitely can tell a difference in just the way that my skin feels. I'm not great at taking off my makeup, so I'm not your beauty guru person. This is just something at 32 years old, I felt like I should probably have some sort of morning, night beauty routine. I also picked up the L'Oreal Revitalift Bright Reveal Brightening Moisturizer because this does have sunscreen broad spectrum SPF 30. I know sunscreen is something that is in a lot of our foundations now, but I definitely wanted like the extra barrier. So I found this, and I honestly just thought the packaging was super cute. But also, again, need to get better at this part of life. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I have like all my little beauty things. Okay, so, let's move on to a dry shampoo though. So I used to be a huge Not Your Mother's, is that what it's called? When that line first came out, that was the dry shampoo of my dreams. Then they changed the formulation, and I will still pick that up at a pinch. And it's not that it's bad, it just doesn't absorb the same way. I don't know, it doesn't react the same way. Maybe my hair has changed somehow. But I moved on to the Dove, and I absolutely love the Dove. So now they have, and maybe they've had this, I just have never seen it before. They have a volume and thickness dry shampoo. And I'm all about that. Like, those are two words that I'm like, yep, sign me up. Because I have pretty lifeless hair. And honestly, just like my beauty routine, I don't really have a hair routine. I'm telling y'all, I did not grow up Tell Me Everything I Need to Know 17 magazine. I just was not that girl. I was reading magazines. It was for clothes and fashion. I really love this dry shampoo. I discovered this in January. It is now my favorite dry shampoo. I just feel like the Dove absorbs the best, but also brushes out the best. And it is the least likely to leave a residue. I have used everything. If it is under $8, I have used it. Okay? Now on to actual makeup items. I have two items that are like holy grail status. I'm probably never going to look back kind of things. And one of them is the L'Oreal Lift Foundation. This has Pro Retinol A and vitamin C and sunscreen, the broad spectrum sunscreen in SPF 17. And this visible lift, honestly, I can tell a difference in my skin. I don't know if it's because of the retinol and just the whole new system that I'm doing, but I can tell a huge difference in my skin. And I have been like complimented on my skin recently, and I'm like, well, that's new. So I really love this makeup. I have, this one is in, where do they even tell you? Oh, I have, good Lord. Why is it gotta be so small? 148 natural buff, I think is what it says. Anyways, I'm in 148, and that's because I tan. But honestly, it's still lighter than like my, I don't know. So that's where stuff like this comes in. So this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow, which there's no glow to this. Let me just say right off the bat, these are like super duper matte. I don't get it. So contouring palette contour. Contouring palette contour. You know, in case you weren't sure what you're picking up. This is in Dulce de Leche, and yeah, they show this woman like doing all kinds of stuff with it. But what I have learned is this bronzing side is super duper prone to just get muddy. I don't know what the right technical beauty guru term is, but I have to use this with such a light hand. In fact, I use it with like a fluffier brush than I've ever used with like a contour, because it's, I don't know, it's really hard to work with, honestly, and you don't need much for it to do what it needs to do. And also the fallout is terrible. So like I'll do like a little swipe and then just pick up for the next one the fallout of the previous one. Like it's such a bad fallout. And this, for the highlight, is the same way, but I have not used this as a highlight. This, I mean, it's not Mega Glow. Like it's not a highlight, I promise you. So please don't think that it is. It is really just super matte brown and yellowish white shade. I mean, like, it's not anything really to write home about. It's like $3 at the Dollar General or Walgreens or wherever you get your Wet n Wild products. But this as a setting powder is like, I'm never going to not purchase this palette to set my under eyes and set my highlight. Like, I like will set before I even do a highlight. And like today I didn't even do a highlight. I just set my under eye and my like T-zone with this. And I love it. Love it. I know a lot of people talk about like the Preserve Your Hammock or something like that. So I'm going to try that for this also and just kind of compare. Okay, and y'all, I really don't know. L'Oreal's Voluminous Million Lashes. And this is the like blackest black whatever, waterproof. Waterproof. I am never, first of all, not going to use a waterproof mascara because there is just no anything. There's no fallout, no coon eyes. It just doesn't move. And the one thing that I have noticed with this one in particular is that it actually comes off easy. And I don't know if it's because I'm using this kind of a cleanser or what. But I do feel like even if I'm using just like a Neutrogena wipe, it comes off quicker than some of the other waterproof mascaras I've used in the past have. And for whatever reason, I think the waterproof holds your lashes better. I never curl my lashes. I just do mascara and like, I don't know if you can tell anything, but and I have been blessed with really good lashes. I mean, I do have to say that. But I really feel like this Million Lashes does create a lot of drama, and it holds. It holds the drama just like you would hope that it does. I'll say I think this was maybe $10 or $12, and the L'Oreal Lift was maybe $13 or $14. So for a drugstore, I feel like as someone who A, is a bargainista, and B, is like, I don't need to spend that on makeup. I think that these are really hefty price tags, but honestly, like, they are now holy grail favorites of mine. So I definitely say this is outstanding, and it will change your skin. Like, it truly just changes your skin. You look, I don't even know, like brighter. It really, you do feel lifted. I don't know. It works really well. Let's move on to my favorite fashion items of January. First and foremost, we have these gorgeous suede, dusty rose pumps from Christian Siriano for Payless. They were $10. They are gorgeous. I don't know with my laptop if you are even seeing the color properly on these, but they are my absolute favorite. They are such a neutral that I have worn them with like pretty much everything. They're so comfortable, so chic. If y'all are not shopping at Payless, I'm telling you, you're missing out. They have been killing it with trends here lately. So you gotta check them out. Great on-trend pieces. And honestly, like, why would you spend a lot on a trend anyway? Like, shop smarter, not harder, folks. All right, next up are these beautiful gold metallic shoes from Just Fab. I have worn these to so many events. I wore them yesterday on Jeans Day at work, and I just had on like a little cropped tweed jacket, and they just made me so happy. And even though it was like 32 degrees in the morning, I just still wore them because I wanted to, because sometimes a Friday needs a pop of gold. It needs a cute, sassy shoe. And so, yeah, these were in the Just Fab sale. These were $10 as well. Wow, I'm just Dr. Seuss over here. So, yeah, I absolutely love these. These were definitely one of my most favorite shoes of January, and they will continue to be one of my most favorite shoes of 2019. I forgot a lipstick, y'all. Okay, so this really is like a whole range of lipsticks, but the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipsticks, these are matte. This is the one that I'm wearing right now, and it is called Rebel Rose. I absolutely love these lipsticks so much. They don't move. They stay pretty much all day. And if you have to like reapply or whatever, you just do. Like, it works just like a regular lipstick. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to like carry around wet wipes or anything like that, or any kind of other system to remove your lipstick and then redo your lipstick. Just put it on over top of it like a normal lipstick would. And then it just dries and sets and you're good. Like, just dries and sets and you're good. If you go to Dollar General, they're right at $5. Sometimes they'll do $4. I don't know. I've bought a ton of them at like various prices, but always under $6. Like, always. So yeah, sorry, I forgot my lipstick. And this is every time I wear this and I go on Instagram and do like an Insta story, I get 18 comments. What lipstick are you wearing? So that's definitely one that I wanted to include. That is Rebel Rose Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. These are fabulous. And the red, there's a killer red. It's an outstanding range. And I think they're adding more to it. So, okay, next up we have something that like I never really thought that I would like as much. And that is a clear bag. I wore this, like I got it and I was like, I went out one night. So I thought, I'll wear my cute little clear bag. And then I did not change out of it for 3 or 4 weeks. And since I have now started doing my entire face at home before I go to work, I didn't need to carry around a massive bag. And so it was really fun just to have this little guy. I really just have a wallet, keys, a phone, maybe some Tic Tacs, a nail file. And then I got this really cute leopard pouch that I put in there like Advil or Lady Bits and those kinds of things. So none of that was showing. So all you could see was a cute little leopard pouch, which was totally fab. So I absolutely love this. I got this on Just Fab, and I will definitely be wearing this a lot. Especially I have some concerts and stuff coming up, so I am excited. I'm definitely going to be carrying this in Nashville. So look for that. I need to do a what I'm going to be packing for Nashville. I've had some folks ask me that are also coming. I am so excited that several people who follow me on Instagram and such that are going to be in Nashville also, so I can meet them. I'm so excited to meet y'all. Like, seriously. Yeah, so I'll be wearing this. And possibly these. Alright, the next thing was a gift for Christmas that I got from my parents. And oh my gosh, these socks, hang on. Sorry, that antler behind me was going mad. These are from Barnes & Noble, I believe, and they're just cozy socks, but they come up super high, and they have shearling in them, and they have just been so cozy. I'm not the biggest sock person just in general, but I love to, like, come home, get into, like, a long t-shirt, and then, like, some super cozy socks. So those have been fabulous. Did you think that there wouldn't be a fur featured? So this is the fur. If you saw my unboxing, this is the one from Just Fab. I absolutely love this. I have taken full advantage of wearing this at every opportunity in January, and I absolutely love it. I will say, I don't know if you can see, but it has a little latch. So I love to just latch it and then just like leave it long. And it is so long. I love that the most, I think, because I have several pieces of faux fur that are like this stole kind of a look, and they're much shorter, which depending upon what I'm wearing works better, but I feel like this one just, it's almost like a vest, but it doesn't cover your back, so it doesn't make you as hot. But then this also has the little hidden slit here that you can, you know, then make it into like more of a stole kind of thing. So I absolutely love this, and I guess it's a pretty good faux fur because an older lady came up to me at one of the events that I was at this month, and she said, "Oh, I love your," I think she said fox. And I said, and I was like, "Oh, it's actually faux." And she was like, "Oh my goodness, whatever." And we had this whole conversation about furs, which I just left the conversation thinking, well, that's me in 30, 40 years, you know, like that was just like, it just made my heart so happy when you find your like spirit animal people, like, you're my people. And we had a fabulous conversation about all the furs, as women do, I guess. Especially if you're a fur lover. Some people are not fur people, so I get it. Don't worry. Okay, so now on to my favorite book that I read in January, and that would be Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. This is by Gail Honeyman, and this follows Eleanor Oliphant, who has had some tragedy in her life, and it has led her to be very routine. She is very much a hermit, and she witnesses a accident that with her coworker. So they're like just walking home from work, and she's like trying to ditch him in her mind because she's got this whole routine on weekends, and it's very self-destructive, her behaviors when she's not working. Like work is her real only like routine where she is not being self-destructive, basically. And it basically, her witnessing this accident with her coworker, and her coworker is like, we got to go to the hospital. We got to do all of this stuff. We are now like in this thing together. It totally spins her on her axis, and she is now having to really think about like the way that she lives her life and letting others into her life and what the rest of her life is going to look like. It is so good. It's so heart-wrenching, and it will stick with you. I think about this book so often, and that is why I chose it as my favorite book of January. Oh my word. Okay, so I have to also film a book haul and then what I read in January. And my book haul, y'all, I'm doing December and January, but there are over 40 books, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. This is already at 36 minutes. I mean, obviously I'll edit it down, but I'm going to have to really edit it down. Okay, so along with books, I definitely want to do a whole media portion of my favorites because I do tend to listen to a lot of podcasts if I'm having reading lulls. I won't call it slumps because sometimes I just need to like clear my brain and then I'll binge a podcast or two and then get back to listening to books. But one podcast that I've really enjoyed is the Sheerluxe Show. Sheerluxe is a online magazine in London, and they have a podcast. They also have a YouTube, and they do shows like a Sheerluxe Show. It's like a sit down panel with special guests of like health, beauty, fashion kind of things. It's all like London based, so some of it doesn't really, I mean, I can't relate, but it is really interesting to see how they view like American politics and stuff, especially. And then it's just really cool because they just have their fashion and style segments, and the girls that they have on their teams as like their fashion editors and such are phenomenal. And I really love their YouTube channel. They do like a they do a behind the scenes weekly, bi-weekly vlog style thing, and it is my favorite thing. I went back and binged like all of the seasons up until now, which when I say season, they call it like a season, but typically it's maybe like 10 episodes that are like 30, 40 minutes. But anyways, it's so good, and they do have a podcast, and they just talk about what everybody's been reading, what they've been wearing, watching, loving, like that kind of thing. And it's just a bunch of girls in an office in London with like their finger on the pulse of all the things. And it's so, so good. My favorite thing that I watched on TV in January was definitely Rent Live. I will say that I was beyond nervous at how they were going to, if they were going to stick with Jonathan Larson's vision. I think they did a really good job. One unfortunate incident that did happen was that Roger, our actor that portrayed Roger, broke his foot running to do a quick change, and they had to play up until basically like the few final scenes. They had to use the day prior's dress rehearsal. So I do feel like there was some instances of marking, which if you're not a theater person, that just means like holding yourself back because like this is a dress rehearsal. I don't want to like strain my vocal cords or dance too big and strain myself. And so there were some cases of that. The other thing is that Vanessa Hudgens is just, she's not Maureen. She's not a Maureen. There was not chemistry there with the characters. I don't know. I mean, Maureen is definitely one that's like the diva. If you've seen Rent or you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but she was not my favorite Maureen. Mark, I loved the casting for Mark. I thought that was outstanding. It was a younger group for the most part, and that kind of threw me a little bit, but overall, I think that, and I could look these people up, but the gentleman that played Roger, his voice was spot on, his mannerisms and character, he just nailed it. And I hate that he was the one that got hurt and we weren't able to see his live performance of Roger, because even in that dress rehearsal, he was just phenomenal. And maybe he didn't mark as much as the other ones, I hope, because it was so good. You can go on and see like the live stuff that they did the night of, because they still had an audience and they still did it live, but Roger kind of just had to sit there with his boot because he broke his foot, as you saw in the last few scenes. And it made me really sad because when they brought the original cast out and they kind of just left him sitting there. I felt really bad for him because he's just like over here propped up with his foot up, and I don't know. It just made me sad. My husband and I were watching it, and I was like, why don't y'all go over there? Because he's just watching y'all singing. It just made me sad. But I love the way that they did it in the round. I love the way that they did the scaffolding, because if you've ever been to New York, you know, like everything's under construction all the time. There's scaffolding everywhere. And I love the way they did that. And I love the way that it like portrayed the different layers. And I thought the girl, excuse me, I thought the girl that did Mimi was awesome. Also, really everybody except for Maureen was great. I don't know. And it may just be that Vanessa Hudgens was marking, because she does have, especially like in her Cyberland song at the lot, it's very involved, and you know, she has to do a lot of stuff, and so maybe she just wasn't putting her all there. But and maybe I'm just not a huge Vanessa Hudgens fan. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more of a Maureen, true Idina Menzel character, and I don't know. But honestly, I'm just so grateful to Fox for bringing the Rent story to the masses. I hope that there were people who watched because they were a Vanessa Hudgens fan, or because they were someone's fan of another show and they were in this production, and so they wanted to see them do that. Or maybe they just heard what it was about and said, that sounds interesting, let me give this a shot. Rent is one of my favorite musicals, because it's so heart-wrenching. It is a story that you are so immersed in these characters' lives, and they are just fighting. They're fighting for their lifestyle. They're fighting for love. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting to live. Gonna cry. I love this musical so much. And it's something that is done in such a beautiful way that I'm so glad that Fox didn't change too much. I mean, obviously you can't have all the F-bombs and such, but they didn't shy away from what the story was about. They didn't shy away from who people chose to love, and that's such an important part of the story. And so I'm just so glad that Fox did this, and I really want to see more musicals brought to the TV. I mean, like the live musical, even though this one maybe wasn't completely live, and there were reasons for that, and totally understanding. I don't know why they didn't have understudies, but that's neither here nor there. But I could obviously talk about this for a really long time. But yeah, okay, now I'm at 47 minutes, so I have a nightmare to edit this. It's probably not going to come out until tomorrow, but that's okay. So anyways, January was fantastic. I did not realize how truly busy I was until I really started like sitting down and like looking over my month and compiling all of these favorites and such. But wow, I really started 2019 out with like a complete bang, and it was fabulous. It's just been a wonderful way to start a brand new year. So I will see y'all again very soon with a book haul and the books that I read in January. Bye, y'all.